I grew up with Pitbull, the artist. I mean, the musician. That's still my brother to this day. My right hand man.
Think you could take Jake in a fight?
I know I can take him, right?
Crazy.
I came out of prison in May. In June, I was in Seoul, South Korea, Antwerp, Belgium, Okinawa, Japan, Milan, Italy, all over the United States, Caribbean, everything. I was his head of security. You know what I mean? I'm doing this for my boy that I grew up with that I beat up anybody for free that fucks with him. You know what I mean? So now I'm getting paid for this.
Welcome back to the Seeking Success podcast, #1 podcast in Toronto, but we're here in Miami.
Yes, sir. Back at... I have to sneeze. Shit.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you. That's not Miami
The
sneeze.
Miami sneeze. We got Yuli, the monster, Diaz in the house. Woo. What's up, brother?
What's up going on, brother? I appreciate the opportunity, guys. Thank you, man.
You're fucking massive, dude.
Thank you, brother.
You're fucking...
No Diddy.
Yeah, no Diddy for bro. And you're intimidating. You got the tattoos. You got the girls. I imagine people are mean mugging you when you're out in the streets of Miami.
Man, you know what? They used to. I get nothing but love on the streets nowadays. You know what I mean? And if it's the opposite, I turn my back and just walk away.
Oh, you're not a street fighter no more.
Not anymore, brother. Nah, it doesn't pay the bills. All it does, it actually give you extra bills. You gotta pay lawyer fees and shit. You know?
The opposite bills.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Bro, so you have the fastest KO in combat sports history.
That's right.
With 3 seconds. We
Sub
saw the
3
video.
seconds, bro.
Sub under 3 seconds. Okay, walk us through those 3 seconds. So did you know, as soon as you heard that match start, did you know I'm gonna knock this motherfucker out in less than 3 seconds?
Yeah, so everybody sees a 3-second knockout. It's actually, like you said, sub 3 seconds. It was less than that. But there's a lot of training that goes into what I did that night. And I study all my opponents. I look at videos on their fights before I ever fight them. So I saw that this guy, he was a taller guy. I'm 5'10", like I was 6'3". Whenever people went to attack him, his defense was to stick his arms out and put his chin in the air. And it happened every time. Every fight I saw, he did the same thing to people. So I'm like, you know what? Me and my coach started practicing. I go, look, in bare knuckle, you start 3 feet apart. So I'm like, look, I'm going to attack this guy. If he does what I think he's going to do, which is stretch his arms out, try to hold me back and put his chin in the air, I'm fucking smashing him.
Wow.
And sure enough, everything, you know, we went over this for 2 months. Fight night, I took off the line. I threw a punch. If you see the fight, he extended his arms, and I landed over the top, and we made history that night, man.
Crazy.
Yeah. But again, everybody just sees those 3 seconds. There's a lot of work put into that. You know what I mean? A lot of studying, a lot of discipline.
Great. So during those sub 3 seconds,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep saying 3 seconds.
That's fine. That's fine.
During those 3 seconds, what's like actually going on in your head? What are the thoughts? Is it just straight laser focus on that? Is there anything else you're thinking about?
So honestly, so you got a guy on each side. You got me. You got my opponent. You got the referee in the middle saying, "You get ready? Are you ready? Fight." So I'm all I'm listening for is this referee to say fight. And if you watch the video, as soon as he says fight, before he even pulls his hand back, I'm already flying at this guy, with the 1 and over the hand with the 2. So between him saying fight and me knocking him out, there's nothing in my mind. It was actually clear. And I felt when the punch landed. And fighters know what I'm talking about. When you land a clean shot like that, right on the button, it feels like you punched a pillow. Like it feels like nothing, like air. And again, it landed and we made history, man.
Wow. Yo, now I gotta ask, because it's bare knuckle, right?
Yeah.
Your hands fucking hurt after? Not in this fight specifically, but like...
I've been through a couple fights. Thank God I've never broken my hand. I've never broken any bones in a fight. All my losses have come due to cuts, you know what I mean, where the doctor or the referee has to stop it because of cuts. I've never been knocked out, thank God. But I've had a few fights. Like I had a war with Thiago Alves, and after the fight for a week, my hands were swollen. No, nothing broken, but your hands are swollen, and yeah, they definitely. There's times where they hurt.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And do you think taking a blow with bare knuckles is worse than taking a blow with the gloves on?
So that's like a two-sided question. If you get punched with bare knuckles, you're going to get cut immediately. Even if you get grazed, if it touches you, you're going to get cut. The positive side to that is that if you're wearing gloves and I hit you, you're not going to get cut. And I'm going to hit you probably 50 more times to do the damage I do with one punch and bare knuckle. So eventually over time, according to science as well, you're going to get more damage getting punched with a glove on than you are with bare knuckles.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Plus, also just like a fear standpoint, right? Like if I'm using my hand, the more I hit you, my hands are gonna start to hurt, right?
That too.
So like, how hard am I to fucking hit this guy?
That's not a good defense though. You want to use your face as defense.
Crazy. Well, I'll be like KSI, so using my elbows, bro.
Yeah, that's right.
Crazy.
Well, so another thing is, So you obviously had that 3 second or however many second plan, right? What if, let's just say if that knockout didn't happen, what was your plan after that? Or did you not even have a plan?
No, we had a plan. We had a plan. Yeah, we definitely had a plan, and you know, it was to stay in the fight, keep my distance. The guy was long. Look for my opportunities. Try to get in where I can. But again, that's all. That's all. What ifs? Because what happened that night was it was over quick.
Oh, for sure.
And so, how often during fights do you have this plan of I'm gonna knock the guy out like quickly?
That's never really the plan. Honestly, I train. You know, usually the fights are 5 or 6 rounds. I train for the fight to go the distance.
Yeah.
My fighting style is I'm a really aggressive fighter. I'm not a guy like trying to look for distance and waiting for like. I'm in there, and I have a lot of trust in my power, so I stick in there, which has failed me a lot of times too, because I'm in there with guys longer than me, so I'm getting punched before I can punch them. And you know, I've lost some fights because of cuts. I lost my last fight, the one in Denver, I lost because of cuts. But my plan is, you know, it's always any fighter that goes into a fight, you're kind of praying for God, I hope I touch this guy one time and he goes to sleep. You know what I mean? I want to make a ESPN Sports Center highlight, but very rarely does that happen. You know what I mean? It's more of a timing thing and waiting, you know, executing your plan, landing that punch.
Fair. So, okay, what's the mindset like? Because you said if you actually were to get knocked out and you lose, you're like, okay, I got knocked out, right? But like you said, you lost by cuts.
Yeah.
So how does that feel? Because do you feel like, shit, man, like I didn't actually lose? Or like, what's the mindset behind that?
No, I mean, you know, I give, you know, the guys who win, I give them their just due. They beat me fair and square.
For sure.
Like this last guy, you know, I'm 43 years old. I fought a guy who was 24, basically 20 years younger than me. You know what I mean? So I'm in there with younger dudes. He was taller than me. He was longer than me. So he was rangy. We got into a slugfest, right in each other's faces, punching each other, you know. And he was landing before I could land, because by the time I get here, he's already on my face. You know what I mean? And honestly, no, there's no hard feelings, man. I put myself in these bad situations and I lost the fight, and that's what it is. I should have been smarter at the time.
Fair.
That's crazy. What you just said, you're 43 years old. Yeah. You started boxing at 35.
Yes, right.
It's the age where a lot of boxers usually retire.
Absolutely.
Right? So, and we will talk about your past because you have a crazy past as well. Right. But how is that like mentally? Like, is there like, were you just like, fuck it, let's do it? Like, or what was the mindset of, I want to start fighting at this age?
So I'll get into that. Little bit of the background was, you know, we'll get into the details of it, but I come from the streets. You know, I was in juvenile detention centers as a kid. I went to prison as a young man, all for fighting on the streets. I did amateur boxing as a young man. I always liked fighting. I was always on the streets doing it, or you know, trying to do it as an amateur. But the streets got more of a stronger hold on me, trying to pay bills. I had kids, and you know, just life got a hold of me. At 35, I was just tired of my own shit. I was like, I'm sick of this life, you know, and I'm not a religious guy, as in going to church every day or every week or anything, but I do believe in God, and I am spiritual, and I think there's a higher being, and, you know, God is what I call him. So there was this one day that came, I was 35 years old, and I was like, God, please, I'm just like sick of this life, man. I'm really sick of it. There's nobody you could trust here. This is all bullshit. Please just take me away from this. And, you know, I was in Miami. I started training. And I was just training because I've always trained. I've always done weights. I've always looked kind of fit. So I always kept up with it. I trained boxing because I liked it. And this was December of 2016. I've been training for about 2 months. I was in Miami. I told my coach, you know what, man? Hey, get me a fight. He's like, oh, you sure? I'm like, yeah. I was like, fuck it. I was going to do like a bucket list thing, some Instagram pictures, you know, say I did it. And right before 2017, it was still December. He comes back. He's like, oh, look, there's a fight. It's in 3 weeks, January 27th in Dominican Republic. I was like, fuck, am I ready for this shit? You know what I mean? Like, these guys been fighting their whole lives. I'm fucking starting at 35, basically, you know? I'm like, you know what? Let's do it, man. Went to Dominican Republic. I took a bunch of friends with me, some family. I was disciplined, you know. Up until that point, I've been dieting. I did everything it took to get there. I won the fight by first round knockout, and it was like this rush of life, man. It was like the best drug I've ever done in my life. You know what I mean? Everybody was proud of me. My mom was proud of me. You know, my mom had been worried my whole entire life up until this point because fucking I'm running through the streets. She don't know when she's gonna get that phone call that guy, you know, he's in jail or he's fucking gone, God forbid. So up until that point, I you know, it was a dream. I got that knockout, and it was like this rush of life, man. And I really, you know, I enjoyed my weekend with my friends and family there. I got back. I'm like, I think this is what I want to do. I stayed consistent in the gym. my gym made me accountable, meaning that whenever I'd miss a day, they knew what my lifestyle was. So they're like, yo, where's this guy? If he's not here, he's getting in trouble. Like, so they call me, hey, where you at, brother? Where you at? Where you not in the gym? So it made me accountable. It made me like, fuck, I can't miss this shit. And over time, being accountable, staying consistent, discipline, hard work, has gotten me here to where I'm at today, man. I'm going, into 10 years.
Yeah.
I feel amazing. I'm 43 years old. I feel great. I'm at the best I've ever been. I'm fucking drug free. I got, I'm bullshit free, meaning that I don't have any bullshit around me. Friends that fuck with me, nothing. I got a great fiance. My son's healthy. My family's proud of me. And I get opportunities like this to be able to speak to you guys and do things like this. So, it's a whole different world for me now.
100%.
That's so fucking sick, bro.
But talking about kids, because if I'm not mistaken, you had your first kid when you were 19 years old.
Yeah. I got a 22-year-old daughter.
What's that like, man? Like fucking having a kid so young, still like, trying to figure life out.
Yeah, man, life was rough, brother. I was a gambler, bro, in the sense of like, I did shit and then I'd figure out once it happened. You know what I mean? Like, all right, you got a kid. Like, fuck, all right, now it's time to figure this shit out. So, man, my daughter, she's 22 now. I grew up, I raised her and I grew up myself kind of at the same time. You know what I mean? I'm kind of finding out who I am while I'm trying to teach her who she is.
Both 22.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it was rough, man. And then, like I said, I went to prison 23, 24, and 25 years old. I was in prison. I got my kids coming to see me in prison. My daughter coming to see me when I'm there. I wasn't a good example for her growing up, you know what I mean? Of the right thing to do. Like, she never saw drugs. She never saw violence. She never saw anything like that. But I'm still not doing the right thing. And at the same time, something that really, I always say fighting saved my life. And one of the things that saved was that, I was a liar to a certain extent because if I didn't know you guys, oh, what are you doing? Oh, I'm a personal trainer. You know what I mean? I had to make up a fucking job on the fly. Because I can't tell you I rob people and I sell dope. You know what I mean? So fucking, I was lying to my kids and lying to people who cared about me. Like, oh, what are you doing? I'm personal training. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay. Where do you train at? Oh, anywhere. You tell me, I'll come to you. Yeah. So it was you just living a lie. So now
you have home calls for robberies.
Right. Yeah. Where do you live, brother? Leave the key under the mat. I'll be there. So yeah, man, living a lie. So that's another thing that I feel great about now. I live my truth. I'm able to speak about it now. You know what I mean? I don't have to like kind of hold back and shit. Like, look, man, I did all this shit. I'm a whole fucking different guy. I live a very straight, narrow, open to the world life.
Crazy.
That's so sad.
That's a fucking crazy journey.
It's like one of the best stories we've heard so far.
I know, because bro, there was a tagline. Somebody, I don't know if it's someone, one of the hosts on the podcast, but the basic titled it like fucking from prison to private jets.
Oh yeah.
You did it all.
Yeah. It was prison to private jets. I always say that's actually my tagline. They probably quoted it for me because I grew up with Pitbull, the artist, the musician. That's still my brother to this day, my right hand man. And so when I got out of prison in 2006, he was on his way. He was already been doing great, but he's on his way up as an artist.
For sure.
Now he's in a whole different atmosphere. But back then he was working his way up there. So I get out 2006 in May. He comes to see me 2 days later, and he's like, "Hey, listen, I'm gonna give you the fucking." He took me on a shopping spree, got me new clothes. I've been in prison for 2 years, so I'm still old shit. Got me a bunch of new stuff. He's like, "Listen, I'm gonna give you the month of May off. In June, you're going on the road with me." So I went. I came out of prison in May. In June, I was in Seoul, South Korea, Antwerp, Belgium, Okinawa, Japan, Milan, Italy, all over the United States, Caribbean, everything. I was his head of security. You know what I mean? I'm doing this for my boy that I grew up with. That I beat up anybody for free that fucks with him, you know what I mean? So now I'm getting paid for this, and I'm doing shows, and there's women, and there's fucking anything you can ask for. You can imagine, It was a great life, man. So I told people, man, I went from prison to private jets, I got to live it for a while. And again, he's still my brother. I still use him as motivation, inspiration. I still speak with him about business things. But now it's a whole different thing because when I got out, I did that with him on the road for a few years. Again, he wasn't where he's at now. So I get paid every 2 weeks, maybe a little bit, depending on the shows. I had to take care of a family. I had kids. I had just got out of prison. I had no savings, anything. So I over time started getting back into the streets. Like, all right, let me start doing this. Let me see who got what, And then me, out of respect for my brother, I stepped to him one day. This is after like 2 years of being on the road, and I'm like, hey, look, man. I had come up on some money from the streets. I'm like, you know what, man? I love you, but I'm doing this, and you know, I don't want to involve you. And he's like, man, leave that shit alone. Trust me, this is a business. This is about to take off. But me being an idiot, you know, at the time and fucking having this street mentality, I was like, no, man. He's like, all right, cool. You know, it gives you the rope to hang yourself, which is not, you know, it's on you, brother. We're all grown men. And sure enough, man, I went this way, bumped my head a couple more times, and you know, but thank God I was able to curve it all the way back and 180 back the other way. You know,
crazy.
Well, when you came back, did he tell you, I told you so?
Throughout the time, he'd tell me, I told you so, you know, because I got into shit throughout the time, you know, and he's like, you know, he's never an I told you so type of guy, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I'm a guy who's accountable for myself, and I'll tell you, I fucked up. I'll tell you, he told me so, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to say it. I'll fucking live it up, you know?
Okay, but how did it feel for, like, talking about Pitbull, right? You were working with him.
Yeah.
You leave to go to streets.
Yeah.
Then you create your own success on your own merit, because it's not like he made you a professional fighter. You did it on your own.
Right.
How does it feel to come back to, your brother, and now you could show, you know, some
Like,
skin in the game?
He's listen. It makes me extremely happy to have been able to do that. You know, and when it comes to him, he's extremely proud of me. He had a huge podcast that he put me on immediately after my knockout. He's given me tremendous opportunities behind the scenes. You know, he's opened his doors to anybody and everybody that I need. So it's been amazing. And now where he's seen the conversion, and in a sense of this, throughout my life, I've always lacked structure, right? As a kid, I always lacked structure. Never had a father, an uncle, a cousin, a male role model in my life. Grew up with a single mom. So I was always looking for that. And my friends were kind of my outlet. You know what I mean? I did what my friends did. Got me into a ton of trouble, listened to the wrong people, did all this. Throughout my life, though, I always try to change my life. Like I would go, I was like, all right, fuck that shit. I'm done with this, man. I'm done with that. And then that would last 2 months. I'd go right back. Then I'd do it again, 3 months, 6 months. So everybody saw me, okay, like he's meaning well, but he's not following through. You know what I mean? And nobody's there to hold your hand, brother. You know what I mean?
Not.
But now that I've done it so many years in a row, you know, and he was there to witness this and see everything. He's like, man, fucking so nobody's happier than me to see what you've done with your life. And now here you go, bro. Doors wide open. What do we need to do? You know what I mean? To get to the next level. So it's been a blessing.
So what is next to get to the next level?
Next level, man. Again, I'm 43. I got one more fight on my contract. I fight August 10th here in South Florida. If you guys are in South Florida, you're more than welcome to come. Yeah, August 10th. I'll get you guys some ringside seats. Do some dope content type shit.
Oh, fuck yeah. We'd fly back for that.
Yeah.
We'll fly back for that.
Yeah, let's do it. I should be in Toronto soon, too, so I'll call you guys, too.
Yeah.
I've never been to Canada, so I'm looking forward to that.
I think you'll love it there.
No, and Toronto's like the best city.
Oh, yeah.
Went through the six with my woes.
Hey, come on.
So next for me, man, is you know, and look, bro, you guys should feel fucking honored because I'm breaking the news here. I'm thinking about retiring after my next fight. Unless we get a Jake Paul fight, unless we get a Logan Paul fight, some fucking, you know, $250,000, $500,000, $1 million fight, or a great opportunity, then I'll jump back in it. But the promotion I'm with now, shout out to BYB Extreme, great promotion, great guys behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I want to be able to do commentary. I want to do what's called fighter relations. Like it's like HR, but for fighters, where I want to be the middleman for the promotion and the fighters be able to be their voice.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And open up opportunities, bring new fighters, make deals for the promotion, things like that. So basically, I want to be able to retire from fighting and not let fighting retire me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm 43 years old. I want to be able to be 53, 63, 73 and have a good conversation and not be fucking stuttering through my words and fucking drinking out of a straw and shit. You know what I mean? And that's what the fighting life does. You know, it's a rough way to make a living. You know what I mean? And nothing but the utmost respect for everybody out there that does it. But it's a tough way to make a living. And if you don't get out at the right time, it could fuck up your life. You know what I mean? And you don't see it. It's things that happens when you don't see. Like I'm talking well now. 10 years from now, I'll be like, fuck, Yuli's fucking mumbling. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
God forbid. You know?
God forbid for real.
Wow, that's a big announcement, bro.
That's massive, man. Fuck.
I wasn't ready for that one. Yeah, heard it here first, I guess.
Bro.
Yeah, first time I've said it on air, brother. So yeah.
Crazy. Damn.
I'm actually like, I kind of lost.
Gotta go be shook. Okay, but go ahead.
So, okay, well, you mentioned the Jake Paul, Logan Paul fight, right?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the whole influencer boxing scene?
I like it, man. I think what Jake's doing is amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's using his platform. He's fucking. He built himself to what he is. I was actually part of Logan Paul's training camp in 2019 when he fought KSI. They flew me to California,
Oh, no
put me in
way.
an Airbnb. I'd go to their house every day. I have pictures with them. I sparred with Jake. Then I sparred Jake a few years later, like 2021 or 22. I sparred him again when he was with BJ Flores, which is a good friend of mine. He's gotten great at boxing. He takes it serious. He's motivated. He's disciplined. I like what they're doing. You know what I mean? I like what they're doing. I would love my chance to step in there with one of these guys as well. You know what I mean? One of these days.
Okay, so you've seen Jake train.
Yes.
You think you could take Jake in a fight? You think you beat him?
I'll tell you what. Look, I think I can take him. Right?
Ooh, okay.
Not only that. I know I can take him. Right?
Crazy.
But it's not going to be an easy fight. He can fight.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
for
he
sure.
can fight. He trains and again, that's another guy who's 24, 25 years old.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
20
yeah.
years older than this guy.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
Father Time is undefeated.
Oh,
you know
for
what I mean?
sure.
Yeah.
Wow, for sure.
Okay, so you said you sparred with Jake before, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people, they say Jake's not a real fighter. He's just a YouTuber, da-da-da-da-da. In terms of fighters as a whole, is Jake, in your opinion, again, a real quote-unquote fighter?
I think he's a real fighter. I give
Sick.
him all the credit. I think he's a real fighter. I think he gets in there and does what needs to be done. You know, what is a real fighter? You know what I mean?
Fights with the
Everybody's got a different opinion. But he's fought fucking big names. He steps up and he does his thing. You know what I mean? Nobody's laying down these big names. Everybody has internet talks and shit. All these guys took money. None of these guys, I think all their names are too big to take any amount of money to fucking get shit on, by a YouTuber or a Disney kid. I think he's doing his thing. He's training and he's getting in there and fucking doing what he's supposed to do.
Okay, so what do you think about the Jake-Mike Tyson fight? Is that a fight that shouldn't happen?
All right. So I grew up on Mike Tyson, man, right? I'm a huge Mike Tyson fan. I'm a street kid myself, so I love his fucking backstory. You know what I mean? Mike Tyson's 57 years old. We just said right now, Father Time's undefeated. You know what I mean? This kid is 27 or something like that. Tip-top shape. Mike looks great on these 5 to 10, 15-second reels on Instagram. You know what I mean? But these rounds are 3 minutes. It's supposed to be, I think, like 10 rounds. Now, again.
Wait, a 10-round bout?
I think so. Maybe, yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. 8 or 10 rounds, which is still,
I know. We're
it's
talking 60
24,
minutes.
30 minutes.
6 rounds is insane.
Right.
Crazy.
So, Mike Tyson is Mike Tyson. Jake Paul has the age. Now, in my opinion, when this first got declared, I thought it was bullshit. I thought it was like I thought it was like a grab for the internet, right?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, these guys are killing the internet. And then as we go forward and we get closer, you see they're doing their press conferences and talking shit to each other, and they're selling it well. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we got the crowd like my age and older wants to see Mike Tyson beat the shit out of this kid, and then you got all the young crowd saying fucking after Jake Paul.
I don't think the young guys after Jake
You know,
Paul.
either way, people are paying to watch this.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
on Netflix. They're in Dallas Stadium with fucking 100,000 fans.
Crazy.
They're making hundreds of millions of dollars a day. You know what I mean? So God bless them. Now, when it comes to the actual fight, I think there's going to be a lot of rules implemented. When Mike Tyson fought Roy Jones, they couldn't punch each other in the face.
Yes.
They weren't going for the kill.
Yeah.
I think that's how this fight's going to be. I don't think Jake Paul wants to knock out Mike Tyson because I think it won't be a good look.
Yeah, it's not a win anyway.
And it definitely won't look good for Mike getting knocked out by Jake. You know what I mean? Now, the opposite, everybody will fucking love him knocking out Jake Paul. But I don't think the fight's going to go that way. I think it's going to be some rules implemented where there's no punches to the face or something. I can't tell you what it is, but again, this is my opinion. I might be fucking totally wrong. People may say, hey, you're a fucking dickhead. You know what I mean? But I think there's going to be some type of rules implemented where nobody really comes out fucking hurt or sleep. You
so
know?
apparently,
Maybe Mike Tyson's going to pay Jake to lose.
I doubt that. I doubt it.
Nah,
the
that's
thing
crazy.
is, at first, it was an exhibition, but then they changed it to not an exhibition.
A pro
to
fight,
actually- yeah, pro fight.
I hear that. I hear that too. Again, I'm on the podcast. I'm on the internet, and I hear it.
Yeah.
Up until the day of the fight, we won't know what's gonna happen.
Well, so that's the crazy thing too. So when Mayweather fought Deji, apparently on the day of the actual fight, Mayweather changed the size of the actual gloves
Yeah.
on the day of, and then he was like, "What the fuck?" And he had
Yeah,
to
you're not gonna find out what's happening until the bell goes ding, 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 and these guys start walking towards each other. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
Yeah,
But if it is a pro fight, there will be no rules of not hitting the head.
yeah, but I don't think again, my opinion. I don't think it's gonna be a pro fight. I don't think any commission will allow a 57-year-old retired boxer against a 27-year-old kid. You know, like And a guy who has 50 fights with a guy who has 6 fights, like that's not commission wouldn't allow that to happen.
But you don't think Mike Tyson?
But
could,
what
like,
they're saying is, I'm sorry to
go,
interrupt,
go,
but
go.
I think they're getting on the internet. They're hearing all the buzz of people saying, no, but what about this and what about that? And they're answering people's questions without answering your question. They're answering the question. It's gonna be it's not exhibition no more. I was like, oh shit! If you remember, we thought it was exhibition. It's a real fight now, you know. And they have us in these talks, you know what I mean? And then the day of, you're like, oh. Fuck, man, this is all bullshit, you know.
Fair.
But we paid $80. We watched the fucking fight, you know.
Wait, how does anybody know? Is it gonna be like regular Netflix? Or
I think it's on regular Netflix.
so. You don't need to pay extra money to watch it.
I don't think so. I think
Oh.
I'm not. Again, I have no idea. There's got to be some money in it for Netflix somehow, but they're gonna have, you know, people who don't have Netflix are gonna
get Netflix.
fucking tune in for, you know, 15, 20 bucks a month.
Get your email.
Right.
Bro, forget that. Netflix would be giving us a check for promoting this fight. For them.
That's right. Netflix, where you at?
Okay, so again, talking about influencer boxing, it's kind of happened a while ago. Did you watch the KSI Tommy Fury fight?
KSI Tommy Fury? No, I didn't watch that one.
Oh, okay. Word.
Yeah.
That was a pretty big one.
Was it?
Who actually won? Because like majority of people thought that KSI got robbed.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't see it. Last guy KSI fought was Joe Fournier, which was a guy I trained with here out of South Beach. He's actually from London.
Yeah, he got knocked.
He got knocked out. That was the elbow one when you guys were talking about the elbow earlier. Yeah.
But Tommy Fury was after that.
Tommy Fury was after that.
Was it? I didn't see that one. I didn't
Okay,
see
so
that one.
who wins in a fight? KSI or Jake Paul?
Jake Paul does.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Like no doubt.
No doubt.
Ooh, what makes you so confident?
I think Jake just has the cleaner boxing. I think KSI's kind of all over the place. He's kind of messy, very athletic, you know, but not like a clean boxer. You know? No, I don't like his style.
Fair.
Okay. Now that we're on talking about retiring, and you did kind of say a career you'd go down the path of, but your fiance right now used to work with the WWE.
That's right.
Do you have any hopes or ambitions to go the WWE route?
Well, she's with TNA Wrestling now,
Okay.
Impact Wrestling. I would love to, man. I would love to. WWE was cool. She did it for 12 years. She was, you know, a mega star over there. Now Impact, she left WWE. She's with Impact, doing great. Her name now is Ash by Elegance. She got a dope, gig going with them. Yeah, I would love to do that, man. I would love to do something like that as a full-time slash side job, because I'll still be with my bare knuckle promotion trying to do fighter relations, but I can still do that job as well. It'd be great, man. I think I have the looks for it. You know, I think I have the character. I have a respectable background. You know what I mean? So where people, you know, so I would love to do something like that.
Man, WWE is like fucking dope.
Let me tell you, man. Fucking wrestling, it's not easy, and I get the question all the time because my fiance is in it. Like, oh, is it real or fake? And I'm like, I'll tell you this. Look, it's a storyline they're following, right? It's like a soap opera, right? And they're following a storyline. But the actual hitting and the wrestling and the hits these people take are real as fuck, bro. That shit's not fucking easy at all. I've gone to practice with her. I've taken bumps, hit the ropes, and I'm like, fuck this, bro. I'd rather get punched in the face. You know what I mean?
Crazy. Yeah, that's a hard part too, because it's almost a fine line between like acrobats and dancing, and like it a fight would almost be easier because it's just improv, you know.
Right.
Versus that's like they plan certain things.
Right.
And you have to be, you know,
it's
making sure nobody gets
choreographed.
hurt,
It's choreographed. It's like a
So-
dance, and I suck at dancing. So I'll step on your toes and shit. You know.
Crazy. Now that was pretty dope. And I saw that your fiance was in WWE. I used to watch her. I love watching wrestling, especially when I was younger.
Yeah.
Now I don't watch as much.
It's huge in Toronto as well. I know.
big,
It's huge.
big.
They're actually having it's called Slammiversary. I think it's now in July, if I'm not mistaken. It's in Montreal.
Okay.
Montreal's the west side, though, right?
East of
East.
Toronto.
Oh, is it east? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's by Toronto,
Yeah,
kind
close
of.
by,
Okay.
about 4 hours away.
For half
Like
hour.
here
Okay.
to Tampa almost.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're having some there, so
Sick.
we'll be up there.
So, question: is Pitbull a good fighter?
Pitbull, no, man. He's
No.
he's not a fighter. He's not a fighter. He's very good with his words. He's a very smart individual. Now, you know, as we're coming up as kids, he got into a couple fights on the street as well, like, you know, regular things like we all do.
Okay.
He did well. He definitely defends himself. One thing I'll tell you, he's no pussy. He's no layover. He's not like gonna let somebody put his hands on him and him not do nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you're talking about a guy who's worth, who knows? I have no idea, but a couple $100 million. You know what I mean? There's no need to. He's not even around people that like nobody. He's not around anybody that doesn't need to be there anymore. You know what I mean? He's at that status.
You ever like hit pads with them or something like that, or no?
I have. I've trained him many times. Yeah. We go running. I do some weights with him. Yeah, I definitely hit some pads with him. Yeah.
Okay, that's actually so funny because like he's in another universe, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So like when you like go to his house or around him, is it like fucking like you got to take a spaceship to Mars?
Yeah, you know what's funny, man? Like, he has certain houses in these beautiful vacation spots where, I go with him. Like, again, he's my brother, you know what I mean? Like, you guys, as close as you guys are. We talk about everything, and, there's no hidden agenda. And there's times where, we'll have a drink. We're in the fucking backyard of some fucking badass crib, dog, and I grab him. I'm like, bro, you believe this shit, dog? You know what I mean? It's like, fucking, bro, we talked about it when we were fucking 13 years old, bro. We're picturing this shit, you know what I mean? Looking at magazines, like, bro, and now we're living the life, man, and it's a blessing. It's awesome to be in that position, and he worked his ass off for it. You know what I mean? Yeah,
100%. For doing that for so long,
exactly.
That's insane.
Exactly.
It's a game.
Yeah.
That's
So,
crazy.
question: who do you think is, obviously other than you, who is the greatest fighter of all time in your opinion?
Greatest fighter of all time, man. So there's a list of them. This isn't no specific order.
Okay.
I like Mike Tyson. I like Evander Holyfield, Robert Duran, Julio Cesar Chavez, and man, Yuli Monster. There's a list of them out there, man. But I think that those would be. I can't put them in order, but those would be my top guys for sure.
100%.
What about like current time? Like, who are like the best boxers?
I like
now?
Canelo, man. Canelo's my guy, bro. I think Canelo's a fucking beast. I think he's a beast. I think he's unbeatable.
Would Jake have a chance against him? Because that's Jake's
Jake,
end
no,
goal.
absolutely not. No, I think Canelo beat the shit out of Jake. I think Canelo
Crazy.
would pound Jake out, fucking like he never seen.
Send him back to Disney after
Oh,
that.
absolutely.
Orlando.
He fucking be drinking out of straw for a while too.
Holy fuck!
It's
Who's
crazy.
winning then in a fight? Jake Paul or Conor McGregor?
In a boxing match, I'd have to say Jake Paul probably.
Yeah, because Conor doesn't have the stamina.
What about in like a?
In MMA, I think Conor. Conor, yeah.
No chance.
Yeah.
Okay, but talking about influencers, I also want to ask you, did you see Bryce Hall's bare knuckle fight?
I did. He actually fought. The guy. I know the guy who he fought.
Yeah, how? Because that guy was undefeated. What's his name? Sorry, I forgot.
G. They call him G. They call him the cut man because he's the guy who takes care of your cuts in the corner.
Okay. How's that like? Because he was undefeated up in that point, and he loses because of an injury.
Yeah.
Like, how does that feel for like the boxing community? Is that like a spin the face moment, or is that like?
Man, you know what? I think it's 50-50. I know he definitely. People think when you're a professional fighter going against an influencer, you're like, oh, this guy has no chance.
Yeah.
So for this guy to win, everybody's like, what the fuck happened? And he was undefeated. I think he only had like 2 wins at that point. I think Bryce Hall might have been his third fight.
Yeah.
I know Bryce Hall, if I'm not mistaken, is a lot bigger than he is. You know what I mean? At least body wise. I don't know how the weight was.
Yeah.
But I think he should have won the fight. Definitely should have won the fight.
Well, for sure. I was watching it and like Bryce, sorry, but he looked like he was afraid, like he was like running around.
Yeah, right.
How tall is Bryce? You met him in person.
Maybe like 5'11".
They're trying to. I just saw recently. Bryce Hall was. They're trying to set up a fight between him and some guy who was like his best friend that they used to do content.
Tyler Holland or something.
Yeah. Like a tall blonde dude. Or something.
Yeah. Like he used to also do TikTok dances and stuff. Yeah. The cool thing about Bryce is he's about his money and he likes getting in these places. Like he's really close to Dana and he wants to fight in the UFC.
Oh no shit.
Yeah. But I don't know if Dana's okay with that. But he's about his business. So it's interesting to see how this influencer stuff's gonna circle into like.
Well, speaking about being about their business, what are your thoughts on Ryan Garcia?
Ooh.
I think Ryan Garcia's the man, bro. I actually, you know what? I gotta be a man here and admit that I was going against him against Devin Haney. I thought he was like fucking losing his mind. He played everything well. He played that character great and fucking he fought his ass off. Dropped Devin Haney. Gave him his first loss. I think he's doing great, man. I think he's doing great.
Apparently, he tested positive.
Yeah, for steroids.
I saw that. I saw that recently, but they said, did it come back positive? Funny because then it was like first they said he tested positive, then it said it came back negative, right?
I saw last night. But again, like fucking, there's a new article every day.
I know.
Right.
There's a lot of fluff up in the air, but
So-
as of now, I think the win is still on his record, but I think they're still trying to verify if he's on something or not.
So what they say it was on? Was it a steroid or?
I think it was steroid, and he literally tweeted, "I love steroids."
Oh, I heard that too. Yeah, but
again, like, that's like the character.
Right. He's winning in that social media realm. You know what I mean?
Oh,
He's killing it,
understands
acting
the game.
crazy and doing dumb shit. And he said that he identifies as a woman and everything. You know what I mean? So It's been playing to his benefit. I have no idea. I can't even speak on the steroid thing because I'm not sure about it.
Bro, even crazier, he leaked a fake text message where Logan Paul said, "I'm gonna make you suffer like the kids in Gaza."
Yeah.
And then Logan Paul made a video saying, "This is all fake. This is all bullshit, whatever."
Yeah.
But Ryan Garcia's a fucking marketing
crazy.
genius.
Yeah. I saw he did that to somebody else. He put like if it was them with their profile picture,
Yeah.
and like it was a text. Yeah, he's killing it.
Guy's a demon, bro. That was messed
That's
up too. I
the
saw that
thing
this
is
morning.
too. The thing is too. Ryan's a young guy. You know, he's like you guys' age, so he's in the world, bro. So he knows how to play it well. He used to fuck with Jake Paul. Him and Jake Paul were like cool, and then they caught beef.
Yeah.
Which I think was fake for like a fight, but it never went down.
So who is winning in a fight, Jake Paul or Ryan Garcia?
Man, there's two huge different weight classes. You know, Jake Paul's like 200 pounds. Ryan Garcia's like at 130, 140.
Yeah, 130-ish.
But Ryan could fight his ass off. You know, if it's just boxing, Ryan might have a great chance.
Ryan has been boxing since he was like 6.
What weight would they meet at? Like 150, 160 maybe?
I don't think Jake Paul could get that low. I don't think Jake Paul could go under 170.
Yeah,
And that's
crazy.
hard trying.
Yeah.
I walk around about the same weight. I walk around about, 205, and I fought down at 175, and it's hell getting down there, man, you know?
Wow.
Yeah.
What's the heaviest you did? For
The
fighting?
heaviest for fighting?
Yeah.
200 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
I swear, I heard somewhere that you were 250 at one point.
No, I got to 240, but I was just muscular. Like, it was like more like a bodybuilding thing.
Okay.
Crazy.
Crazy.
Holy
Holy
shit.
Yeah.
Fuck,
You,
man.
when you're that big, you can't fight. You throw a punch, you're like fucking slow, you know?
Well, according to a person on the internet, he's very big and he thinks he can beat a lot of people in a street fight.
Yeah, I'll beat the shit out of Bradley Martin. I'll Bradley
chance.
Martin whenever you're ready, buddy. I'll beat the shit out of you. That's some raw talk right there.
Crazy. Okay, so hold on. Is there any sort of merit to what he said? Because, okay, I'd argue, maybe, I don't know about that weight range, but if you're talking like 100 pounds and the guy's like 200 pounds, surely at that point, the guy's 200 pounds is fucking eating the guy.
It depends on what the guy that's 100 pounds knows,
But
right?
like 100 pounds? Like, even if
it doesn't matter. Like, did you see the other day? You see Mighty Mouse? What's his name? What's Mighty Mouse's name? He used to fight for the UFC. Demetrius Johnson.
Okay.
He was in a jiu-jitsu competition. He weighs 125, 130 pounds. He fought a guy who was 300 pounds. It was a jiu-jitsu competition, and he beat the shit out of this guy, choked him out, made him tap out. So when it comes to that art, I'd give it to the smaller guy if he knows what he's doing. Now, when it comes to just boxing or kickboxing, you got a 200-pound guy against a 100-pound guy. It's a little different because one lucky punch and this is fucking, it's 100 pounds of pressure over the other guy. Yeah.
Crazy.
But when it comes to like wrestling and actual technique, if a smaller guy knows what he's doing, you're in trouble.
Because I'm pretty sure Bradley Martin also sparred someone and got his ass kicked.
Yeah,
No, that was
Bradley.
sneaker. That was sneaker.
No, Bradley
Bradley
Martin too.
Martin.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was on the mask and everything.
I
and
don't know.
then
I've never seen Bradley Martin fight, but he's a bodybuilding guy, and nothing. Hats off to him, none but
he's
respect
super
for him.
cool guy.
But when it comes to a fight, I'll beat the shit out of him. He's a muscular guy, but muscles don't mean nothing. That don't mean you can fight.
I feel like you guys, how much does he weigh again? What is his thing? He's 260 or what is he?
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Yeah.
Well, he's actually 260.
I have no idea if he's 260.
Because he always
I
says
think he
like-
might be a little smaller than 260. I don't know how tall he is either. But
Bro, I feel like
but
he'd be about your size, no?
yeah, I mean I'm 5'10". I don't know if he's about my height.
Should we Google it?
Yeah,
I know he's 6 foot for sure, but I wonder how much he weighs. Just curious. That'd be a good matchup, man.
that'd be great. Put it together, guys.
But I don't
Let's
think he wants to fight though.
He definitely doesn't.
No, he just wants
he's
viral clips.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
no,
he's
no,
good at that too.
No, I'm not talking shit. He's 6'2" and he's 260 pounds.
260 pounds?
Yeah, but he's a fucking unit.
Holy
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah, but that's bodybuilding mass. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah,
fucking.
yeah.
That guy's eating,
That's
tons of
fucking-
protein, and he's trying to get up in weight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where I'm trying to stay down in weight.
Because it doesn't necessarily. Well, I can speak English. That doesn't necessarily mean he's strong.
Right.
Like you could definitely be stronger than someone, but way less. So fucking.
Well, I would, in my opinion, and not knowing the guy, just out here talking just to talk. I would think he's a strong guy. I mean, he does weights.
for sure.
He does bodybuilding and weights for a living. But strength of pushing weights and strength when fighting are two opposite things. You know what I mean? Like you need endurance in your muscles too. A guy like him has no endurance. He throws 2 or 3 punches. He's not going to be able to hold his arms up because he's so muscular. Your arms fill up with oxygen and blood, and after
heavy, right?
after a minute of fighting, he's not going to be able to hold his arms up. And it's game over.
Crazy. Well, Bradley Martin, you heard it here
bro.
first.
Yeah, that's right.
He got warned.
That's a warning.
I guess we jump into the final,
Final
four,
four,
yeah?
yeah. So this is our final 4 round. Basically, it's our last round. What are we gonna ask you 4 questions? You're gonna go exactly. You're gonna go rapid fire. First thing that comes to your mind.
All right, cool.
If you had to swap lives with someone for 24 hours, who would you pick?
Wait, second. If
If you had to swap lives with someone for 24 hours, who would you pick?
fuck. Let's go with LeBron.
LeBron, the king.
I don't know. That was the first one that came to my mind for some reason.
Okay, fair. Who would you say is the most motivational person of all time for you?
Man, that's between Pitbull and David Goggins.
Fair.
Oh, David Goggins. You gotta carry the boat.
yeah. Burn the boats.
Carry the boats.
If your whole life from the day you were born till now is written in a book, what would the title of that book be called?
Never too late.
Never. Oh, that's actually fire.
That's top.
Jeez.
That's top. All right, last final question. If today was your dying message to the world, what would your final message be?
Man, I'm dying today. Tomorrow's not promised. Hug the ones you love, forgive the ones you don't, and fucking, live your last day like it's your last day.
Crazy. That was a monster.
I want to fucking quote that. Put that shit on a t-shirt.
Yeah. Copyright it.
Yeah, we had the monster in the house. We're gonna link his links in the description below.
Guys, that was amazing. Until next time, remember, stay seeking success.
Boom.
Fuck yeah. Thank you guys. Appreciate it, man.
Yo, what?
That was great. Hey, you guys are great, though.
Yo, man.